The ITC Bowling Championships have come to Grand Rapids, Michigan in 2021. We crown the women's national champion next. They're bowling for the Helmer Cup, and welcome to the Spectrum Entertainment Complex near Grand Rapids. This historic bowling center plays host to the 2021 ITC Women's Bowling Championship. Wichita State and North Carolina A&T go head-to-head in a best-of-5 Baker bowling format. The winner takes home a national title. Here's the BPAA road to the title match. The Aggies look for the school's second national championship, their first in 2015. Wichita State has won 19 titles in school history, going for number 10 here today. Welcome, bowling fans, here on CBS Sports Network. Dave Ryan alongside the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick and the legendary program. Kel, the Shockers are back in the national championship picture here today.
Yeah, Dave, you know, when you talk about Ohio, I think of Buckeye football. When you talk about Duke, I think of basketball. When you talk about the words Wichita and the Shockers, I automatically go into the powerhouse team of the Lady Shockers in Wichita University.
North Carolina A&T has been built by a Hall of Famer you know very well in Kim Terrell Kearney. What a coach, and this program clearly on the rise.
Coming in a successful program already when the ladies won in 2015, but I truly believe with Kim's guidance along the way, North Carolina A&T can be a future powerhouse in collegiate bowling.
When we come back to Western Michigan, it is time to bowl. Two teams share one dream. Wichita State looks for its record 10th ITC title. The Aggies have other ideas, hoping for their second championship. We crown a champion next. North Carolina A&T ready to compete. Their lineup here today. Very talented leadoff bowler in Melanie Caton, and Cameron Strombeck is the anchor from Durham, North Carolina. North Carolina A&T from Greensboro area, led by the Hall of Famer, someone, Kel, as we talked about, you know so well, who has brought just incredible things to this program.
Yeah, Kim Kearney, two-time U.S. Open champion, Hall of Famer, both USBC and ensure future PWBA. She brings so much talent, experience, and history, also being one of the assistant coaches for the Team USA program as well. Enlightened a lot of these young women for their future.
Wichita State trying for yet another national championship. Olivia Komorowski will lead things off. One of the two Madisons on the team, Madison Janik, will be the anchor bowler. Really deep, talented team. Holly Harris, second year leading this legendary program. Done quite a job, hasn't she?
Yes, a Wichita alumnus herself. She was bowling on the team many years in the past. Again, brings a lot of knowledge and history when you can go through the program as an individual and then pass it along, what you've learned, and apply it to your future Hall of Famers as well. It's Wichita's DNA. They just keep recycling great players and bringing them on board to work on the coaching program.
Saw Mark Lewis there as well. One of the longtime Wichita State coaches, director of bowling there, an incredible men's and women's program. And we are ready for best of 5 Baker bowling from here in the Grand Rapids area. Olivia Komorowski will lead things off from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Junior health science major at Wichita State. Away we go. ITC Women's Championship match. Greek Church leave. Tough start.
Yeah, Wichita State started on left lane, so if we go to 5 matches, they're going to be back here for game number 5. Strategy always works. You have to pay attention to what's happening in front of you as you go lane to lane and come back forth. So much recording going on, where the ball is crossing over the arrows. One is lane tighter, one lane hooks. What does each player see and how they communicate to one another down the lineup?
Well, her teammates told us last night in the team meeting that she's a great spare shooter. Pretty tough to pick all 5 up here. Leads the 4-7, early open frame for the Shockers. Let's see if North Carolina A&T can take advantage.
Melanie Caton all the way from California. Talk about coast to coast. She transplanted from the west to the east. and was a good move considering California was shut down for such a long extended period of time. She had the opportunity to bowl here at North Carolina A&T.
Melanie gets the Aggies day started. And missed the mark. 1-10 on the light hit. Okay, Kelly, time for future for the sport. Oil pattern here today.
The young women are bowling on a 42-foot pattern, medium volume, medium scoring pace. So you see these blue blocks right here. That's where the ladies are going to start. They're going to stay roughly inside of that blue zone. Break point's going to be roughly around board 10. And as they continue to move, they're just simply going to parallel and stay within the dark edges of that blue box in order to create hold.
10-pin stands off the washout, so some early trouble here for each side.
An interesting history thinking about what happened in 2020 as a global world. College bowling also took that break, and some universities were not able to start back in the October season when it opened up. Kansas did have some opportunities to go in and practice. North Carolina did not start their program until around January for the second half in the beginning of 2021.
Sierra Shoshoka, senior nursing major, Harker Heights, Texas, north of Austin. Left lane, nice shot. And Sierra crunches the 1-3 pocket.
Little X up on the screen.
Lauren Tomacheski, O'Fallon, Illinois. Outside St. Louis, and a transfer from Stephen F. Austin. On the right lane for Lauren. Double wood. 2-8. Sophomore animal science major, and something you noted in the meeting we had with the North Carolina A&T players last night, Kel. A lot of different majors at that school. Some pretty cool variety.
Yeah, variety of programs for sure. Accounting, animal science major, nursing, marketing, supply chain manager. Very diverse university.
Known for engineering, but a lot of different programs there. Lauren taking advantage, double wood, and converts nicely. Just underway in game one of the best of 5. Addie Herzberg from Wichita.
Easy commute.
I'll say.
To school every day.
They take advantage of Addie's mom, who provides a lot of team snacks. She apparently is the best snack mom ever. Touch high there. Leaves the 3-6.
Two key things where they're sliding, 25, 17, 18 at the arrow. So the zone is right around over here. That hash mark is always going to be on play in most of all the patterns. Clearly deeper inside around 13. The pocket's right around board 17. Even though it's not much time left to get the ball back to the right side of the head pin. Execution right now is really what both teams need.
Covers nicely and has the mark for Wichita State. One strike so far. There's Pamela War, junior from Virginia Beach, mechanical engineering major. And was she ever a treat to talk to last night? You talk about big, and I mean big personality. She's a glue of the team. Emotional leader. Right lane for the Aggies. They're off target.
Leaves the 2-4-5. Yeah, boy, a comedian. I mean, just energetic.
It was fun, right?
Like I said, she's a gamer,
Yeah.
right? Ready at any moment. And, you know, had a thought, lost it. 10 minutes later, came back. I remember the word.
Right. That's pretty cool. Wants to be on the PWBA tour one day. Join you out there, Kel. Spare attempt here for Pamela War. Needs 3. Shot. So an open frame for North Carolina A&T. And unfortunately, Kelly, for each side, that's been emblematic of the start of this match. Bunch of opens. Sarah Klassen next up. Junior accounting major from St. Catharines, Ontario. Left lane. Perfect pocket hit. Labels the 1-3 pocket for the Shockers.
I like the celebration on the way back off the approach there.
See some more of those strike dances.
Sliding 25, 16, 17th arrows. Direct path to the 10 board down lane. Tighter angles. And as you said, Dave, 10 straight back in the pit.
Wow, nothing left there. Ana Olaja is next. Senior from Bogota, Colombia. What a treat she was to speak with. Wants to be a sports broadcaster one day. Journalism major at North Carolina A&T. On the right lane. He really had to hurry. He's lost its energy there in the 8-10 up.
Just not any momentum that is being built right now from North Carolina. Weaker ball, same part of the lane. You can see the yellow pin on the ball as it's migrating down the lane, so when you see that ball going down, you want to see it kind of stand up and get tall as it starts to get into that forward rolling motion. But it just hasn't quite slowed down enough to make that turn.
Mentioned a journalism major for Ana. She is headed directly back to Greensboro, North Carolina after the show's over. She's getting in the car and going to travel, be home in time for graduation. Her parents have come in from Colombia for that. 8-10, lot to try to cover and can't do that. So whiff and an open frame again for North Carolina A&T. But it's best out of 5, just game 1. We're underway from just outside Grand Rapids. For the Bowl TV highlight of the week, we're back at North Carolina A&T's run to the championship match. Dominant team throughout the week, taking down arch rival McHenry, Shannon O'Keefe's team, not once but twice. On the way to the finals, they shot a number of big scores, including this run at a perfect game. During match play, every ball of the competition covered live on bowltv.com. Fantastic run for Strombeck and company. However, that was then. This is now. Kelly struggles early in game 1. It is best of 5, as you said, going to the commercial break. So what big adjustments do the Aggies have to make right now?
Yeah, Dave, I was watching their body language during that commercial break just to see what's going on. You know, Wichita looks loose and relaxed and comfortable having fun. North Carolina needs to change the momentum. My words exactly as I watched Coach Kim describe that to the ladies. They just have to start believing in themselves, get the ball off their hands, know that it's a great shot, and then make a move off of it. If you second guess where you need to be on the lane or what you're doing, you have to have confidence in your skill and ability.
That's a really light miss. We want to 4-7 up to begin the second half of game 1.
Yeah, I watched the women practice in that 15 minutes that they had, sliding deep 30 at 17. Way far right down the lane. The ball again needs to be further inside, closer to the head pin. 42 feet is a medium length, just on the border of longer, so you take the rule of 31. 42 minus 31, the break point should be roughly around 10-11 as that origin, that starting point. Keep it closer to the head pin. I also didn't see the ladies really use a lot of surface to try to build up a friction spot to the right. They really all started in immediately deep inside, somewhere around 13, 14, 15. So there's no development so far in the first 5 frames or during the practice.
Interesting. All right, see what Olivia Komrosky can do here to try to cover a lot of pins. Left lane, including the head pin. Can't do it. One of the great benefits of USBC youth membership is the chance to earn college scholarships so you can pursue your dreams. In 2020, more than $8 million was awarded in scholarships across the country. Learn more at bowl.com/youth. As you mentioned, her first time up in Baker Bowling here. She has gone a long way from the West Coast to Greensboro. I told us last night, just a perfect fit for her. Right lane, Better shot, ring and 10 pin.
Yeah, you can see Melanie definitely shifted everything to the right, closer to that 13-14 board at the arrow zone, keeping her angles more tight in front of her. First time transitioning too, she's really used to bowling singles competition. 5-step approach. Really walks past her swing really well. I love this left arm right there, how it's leaning forward. Shoulders open up back here. Gives her a full range of motion. Watch as that swing really comes through at the arc at the bottom. Great window of opportunity for the ball to project down the lane.
Cross lane, 10 pin. Got it.
There's the momentum they're looking for.
Absolutely. I mean, just having a mark at this point is a good thing on these really tough conditions. Most titles, as we talked about, Shockers have 9, but it's been a while since Wichita State raised the Homer Cup 2009 when they swept with the men in Rockford, Illinois.
I think 2016 was their last appearance in the championship match. I have to give shout out to my alum, Morehead State. Has 4 titles there as well.
That's right. You're on one of those teams, right?
98.
Awesome.
10-pin wiggle is just not enough to fall. 6-pin clips it as it wraps around.
Sierra Shoka just missed that one. I don't know. His bowler's a little reserved there, Kelly. We heard at the team meeting last night she's the loudest on the team, but good shot. Ringing 10 pin. Somehow the 10 pin doesn't fall. That was close. You mentioned earlier, you think nerves are a big factor right now?
Absolutely. I mean, they know it's on TV. It's being aired and everything. North Carolina been a while. Same for Wichita. Championship title is on the line. It's not like you're bowling next to other schools during the week and during competition. So a lot of elements have changed. A lot of variables have kicked in.
Shoka with a nice spare cross lane for the 10 pin. Her teammate said she might be the best spare shooter on the team. Case in point there. And Lauren Tomacheski steps up here for the Aggies.
Low scoring game, but anything can happen with these last 4 frames.
Lots of opens, but that means a lot of opportunity for each side. Right lane for Lauren. There's some energy. Big strike.
They need it. They need it right now, Dave. 7 frames for both teams, best of 5. The little break in between really could have done North Carolina some benefit.
First strike for the Aggies in game 1. Shockers have 2 so far. Lots of opens exchanged from both programs here, so that means game 1 is tight. Could go right down to the wire. Here's Addie Herzberg. For the Shockers. A little high tip for down it goes. Big Shocker strike.
Watch right here. 17, 18 at the arrows. Wow, a little bit further inside, but what allows her to do that is her rotation off her hand. Kinds of spins it just a bit more, almost like the earth rotating on its axis. Allows the ball to go straighter down the lane for a longer period of time.
Pam Moore. Pretty good shot, crossing over. 6-pin stands.
She's got a big trip ahead of her too, Dave, right?
Yeah, headed out to California for an internship with Northrop Grumman, right?
Yes.
Pretty awesome. We asked her, does that mean it's, military stuff? Big secret? She said, well, the email, they said, maybe. I don't think she quite has that security clearance yet, but maybe down the road.
Well, she said I could tell you, but then I can't see you.
Right. 6-pin got that one. But what a cool opportunity for her. And best of luck on the internship.
Baker style is so unique. You have the 1 6 frame, 2 7th frame. There's so much time lapsing in between each and every delivery. You have to manage that too. So many constant changes to be prepared for.
Back to Sarah Klassen. Has not been home for a while because of COVID and the border being closed. Wichita State, big strike. The native of Ontario. And strike dance again. Got a couple of those.
Good plant right there. Heavy forward roll into the pocket, slightly deflects. But right now Wichita is in command because they're able to hit the 1-3 consistently over time.
Double for the Shockers, 31-pin lead. Anna steps up. Member of Team Columbia. Really hurry up. And a late bump on the 8-pin, down it goes for a strike.
Big move for Anna right there. Where some of the ladies on her team chase it back to the right to keep it more in front of them, she actually got a little bit further left to get it in front of the head pin. You can see right here, sliding a bit deeper. She was around 15 earlier, now 18 at the arrows. Catches the shaker strike. 8-pin late to fall, but does carry all 10.
Just a mark to shut out the Aggies in game 1. The best out of 5. Madison Janik would like to handle those duties here and ring in 10-pin. Nice shot. Just a single pin spare conversion for a game 1 win.
10-pin in bowling spare is like a foul shot for the basketball player.
There you go.
You just over and over and over again. If you shoot 100 of them, your percentage is somewhere between probably 95, 97%.
That's a good percentage.
Yep.
Coaches applauding her work ethic in the meeting we had with them last night. Takes care of the 10-pin and takes care of the game 1 win for the Shockers. All 10 down for Madison Janik, and Wichita State wins game 1 of the best of 5. Game 2 on the way here on CBS Sports Network. Come back to the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Game 2 goes to the Aggies of North Carolina A&T. It was a slugfest again, but the victory 202-194 to even the best of 5 at 1 game apiece.
Game number 3 goes to the Lady Shockers, 211 to 169, taking a lead of 2 games to 1, only 1 win away from the national championship title. Coach Kim, back on that left lane. You were really strong there before going into this must-win situation. What advice, what encouragement do you give your Lady Aggies in order to win game number 4 and force a 5th game?
I think we're lined up on the left lane. I think it's just a matter of executing, and I feel pretty good about that. I feel like that's what we do sadly, when our backs are against the wall, which is where we are.
All right, Coach Kim, good luck going into game number 4. When we come back, it's a must-win situation for the Lady Aggies to force a game number 5 for that championship title.
Great to hear from the Hall of Fame coach. Getting set for the next game here on CBS Sports Network. Game 4 of the ITC Women's Collegiate Team Championship event. Dave Ryan alongside Kelly Kulick, our entire CBS Sports Network bowling crew. Great to have you with us from the Spectrum Entertainment Complex, just outside Grand Rapids. Melanie Caton, numbers so far. No lineup changes from games 3 to 4. This is it for the Aggies. Perfect high flush strike. What a start for Melanie Caton and the Aggies in the next game.
Little rocky game number 1, but wow, talk about a switch in demeanor. And energy level, she is the energy off the back of the approach. Wichita up 2-1 though.
Sierra Shashoka, nursing major, senior from outside Austin, Texas. Leadoff bowler games 3 and 4 for Wichita State. She started this championship match in the 2 slot. Great start for the Shockers.
So consistent. So consistent. Lauren Tomczewski. Again, another transfer student. Left lane seems to be an advantage for both teams right now.
Let's see if the Aggies can take advantage. That came in high, 3-6-10.
Watch here off her hand. Left lane, to me, it really just seems like if you picture a ramp and then tilt it to your left, it just seems like the ball's going downhill even sooner on the left lane, where on the right lane it's trying to pick up speed, or not so much. It's just more friction on the left, a little bit tighter on the right.
Covers nicely. Important spare early in game 4. When your backs are to the wall, the best out of 5, you can't afford those early mistakes. Coaches Kim Terrell Kearney and husband Eric telling us last night in our very late meeting after they qualified for the championship match how important the first 2 bowlers are to pave the way for the other 3 in the 5-bowler Baker format. Madison Hansen. This is the target, leaves the bucket. So advice from Coach Holly Harris.
Knock all 4 down.
Exactly. A nice meeting with Coach Harris and Coach Lewis last night. Mark Lewis, part of the program since 1989. Up to cover, can't do it. 4-8 up. An open frame for the Shockers, and Madison Hansen, the 2-slot bowler. Let's see if Pamela War, junior mechanical engineering major from Virginia Beach, Virginia. See her numbers so far, can take advantage. Aggies trying to get it going here. That comes a touch high and leaves the 4-pin.
Really good execution there by Pamela. Again, just keeping her angles in front. I was talking about that 3-pin, just kind of facing it up right at the 3-pin. 9 spares, always a good frame to fill. As low as the scores have been, keep filling frames. Good delivery, 18 at the arrows, just inside. Doesn't have a lot of rotation, more end over end, but again, easy makeable spare. Cross lane for the conversion.
As the 4-pin has the mark. Early good start for North Carolina A&T here in game 4. Here's Addie Herzberg.
3 strikes, 3 spares. Again, most consistent so far between her and Sierra.
Yeah, and Sarah Klassen too.
Yep.
Really bowl well for the Shockers here in the championship match.
Ooh, 7-8.
Not a lead you see very often.
No. So, as I said, as the ladies start to migrate left, well, again, you're pushing the ball away from the pocket, even though it's a smaller angle. The ball still needs a lot of rotation to get back to the pocket. So this is when the hand needs to be a bit more aggressive at the bottom of the swing to create that pickup motion towards the 1-3 pocket.
The Bowling Youth Open will take place at different times from July 7th through the 25th in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a national tournament with nearly $80,000 in scholarships. A great chance to have some fun and make friends. Check out bowl.com/youth open to get the details. See what Addie's got in mind. Well, she did. A pretty good shot, but somehow missed the 7-pin. Couldn't quite execute. And the Shockers up for an open frame. Third here in game 4.
Yeah, you almost want to shoot for the 4-pin. You can see the ball just doesn't get quite
Barely
enough to deflect. It can't deflect because it's equal distance from the pin. So it has to be fitted through. There's that ball change I was talking about. Anna making a ball switch to an aggressive bowling ball.
Anna Olaja steps up. Comes in high, just losing the energy again toward the end of the shot. 3-6, 9-10 up. Not an easy cover.
Sliding way left. Just about gets it to that break point area.
We're into game 4, just one strike for Anna so far. Unfortunately for the star, native of Colombia.
This is a smart move right here, switching to a, gonna hook at the spare, most likely, and the reason being for that 9-pin behind. Just need enough momentum for it to hit the 6-pin, but still carry on through and take out the 9.
Lot to cover here. Gets the job done.
Big, big, big spare right there. That was huge.
At this point of the match, down 2-1 in the best of 5. That was crucial. Sarah Klassen has just been incredible so far. No opens, 4 or 6 strikes. A lot of practice with these strike dance.
Yeah, even though, Lady Aggies won 1 game and so forth, you could just still see the body language. Wichita seems so much cool and calm and relaxed, and there still seems to be a bit of tension for North Carolina.
No strike dance this time, just a big celebration. Lots of high 10s. Forceful.
So consistent.
What a shot.
Yep.
Wow. All 10 back into the pit. Flush. We'll have more action from the Intercollegiate Team Championships after these messages. With the Intercollegiate Team Championships on the line, we move ahead now to the 6th frame. Double for Wichita State. Really tightens up the 4th game of the best of 5. For the ITC Team Championships on the women's side. Shockers trying for a 10th team title in school history. And as a record, Aggies looking for number 2, their first though in 6 years. Top of the lineup, each team, second half of game 4. Every shot now for the Aggies in a must-win situation, critical. Melanie Caton, top of the lineup. Aggies work on a spare, comes in high, trips the 4, she's pumped. I mean, really pumped. Love the energy.
Watch right here. Melanie's been so clutch right now as the leadoff bowler. High head pin hit, 4-pin bounces off the sidewall though. Excuse me, head pin bounces off the sidewall, kick out that 4-pin. This is a must-win situation, so the pressure is built in. They have a 57% chance of winning, but Wichita could end that right now.
Sierra.
3-bagger.
Shoshoka step leave. Nearly impossible to make it.
Yeah, again, as you move deeper left or further inside, the hand has to get around the ball a little bit more. Watch right here as the ball, as the fingers, the yellow finger grips, try to stand up tall and roll forward. 6-pin slides in front, 4-pin slides in front. Devastated 7-10 split.
Unfortunately, trying to get the 10 into the 7. Sierra misses both. So the open frame changes things considerably. Now the win probability up to 82+% for the Aggies. Lauren Tomacheski in the 2-hole for the Aggies steps up. Got some confidence now. Working on a strike, chance for a 35-pin lead. 7th frame for Lauren.
Good shot.
Oh yeah, you bet. Crunches the 1-3 pocket, and the lead balloons to 35 pins.
Really, really solid delivery. Ball crushes the pocket, really extending their lead with only a few frames left in game number 4.
Madison Hansen. .610. So Madison, the 30 pair of sneakers we told you about earlier in the broadcast, paid $220 for the Air Jordan Retro Black Cat. Would you pay $220 for sneakers?
And that was with her employee discount.
That's with the employee discount, right?
Yeah, no, I'm
Store she works.
conservative. $45 a pair. Let me wear them for 6 months to a year.
I'm
and get a
going
new
clearance
pair.
rack generally, whatever I can work out there.
Now, if they make a pair that say Kelly Kulick on the side, then I'll
That might
spend
be something
$220.
else.
No, they might be worth $25.
I'd just be afraid to, scratch them or wear them outside. And who knows? I guess keep them in boxes, right? 610.
Yeah, but
Good work there for Madison.
look at all the car owners that buy the 1969
Right.
cars and never drive them.
Yep.
Life's too short to admire things. Gotta use them.
I'm with you on that, Kel, for sure. There's Pamela Ward stepping up. North Carolina A&T, 35-pin lead in game 4. Trying for the Turkey as a team here. And a 45-pin advantage. Tough to catch her if you can do it. No. 4-9 split. Instead,
Wow. These
tough
young
break.
women, every opportunity they have a chance to just, put the match ahead and get a lead. Two stone 8 pins. Now we got a 4-9. This was going to be a tough call. I thought for sure it might just be a 4 pin. I thought it was really executed well for hand. 4-9. Okay, so here we are. We're in the 8th frame. We've got a decent amount of lead. You got to get one. Got a
Tough
chance.
execution. Yes! What a conversion on the split from Pamela War of North Carolina A&T. That was massive. And it keeps him in the driver's seat here in game 4.
This is the game changer right here, Dave. Look, cross lane, I said she's got to get at least one. Really bold of her to go for it. Easily converts the 4-9 like it's routine.
It's our USBC Collegiate moment of the match for good reason. What a conversion. And the celebration. What a shot. Keeps the Aggies in great shape. Danny Hertzberg answers for Wichita State.
222 max score for North Carolina. 199 for Wichita. Still a 33-pin lead. Anna's making another ball change again. Went more aggressive, went deeper inside, switching back.
She's been trying hard there, Kel, but just not have the ball reaction throughout this match. Let's see if that changes this time. Not quite.
Lucky break there for the 2-pin.
Could have been worse. Just single pin spare conversion. And this late in the game, with your backs against the wall, it's critical.
The ball, it's going to try to make its way back to the head pin. Light hit. Easily could have been a 210 or something. Single pin spare. Just convert this, move on. She makes the spare, we pretty much almost guarantee game number 5.
Really big shot. Gets enough. Gets the spare. That mark puts them in great shape to win game 4 and force a 5th and deciding game for the national championship. This is exciting, Kelly. So much at stake.
Very exciting, Dave. I always want to see the games go to the max amount, 5 games for sure. It
It's
just
fun
makes
as
it
a
so much exciting
broadcaster.
for the fans.
Nice shot, 10-pin, Sarah Klassen, late going here, game 4.
Yeah, so Dave, we got a 2-2 match here now. Going into game number 5, and this is my strategy. I'm thinking, okay, the right lane has been tough for both teams. Coach Kim going back over, keep the same lineup. I'm not really sure. I would definitely ball up and give myself a better look, have the ball read the mid lane. You got to know what the moves are by now.
Cameron Strombeck steps up, anchor bowler, North Carolina A&T, 5 pins to win game 4. How about 9? How about the win for the Aggies? So a big bounce back for North Carolina A&T, and they have wrapped up game 4. They win games 2 and 4 after Wichita State took the opening game and game 3. And that means a 5th and deciding game from here at the ITC Women's Championships in Wyoming, Michigan, just outside Grand Rapids. Thrilling finish, 5th game on the way here on CBS Sports Network. Here we go, game 5. Winner takes it all at the ITC Women's Championships. It is tied 2-2 after North Carolina A&T takes game 4. Dave, Ryan, Kelly Kulik, our entire crew. That's why we do this, right, Kel? To track and document in a best of 5, the 5th game, one team becomes a national champion.
Yeah, Dave, I can feel what it was like as a player to go through this process and get to this moment. But even now as a spectator and commentator watching the women, the butterflies through their stomach going into this last match, it's a must-win for either team to walk away with that championship.
Sierra Shashoka will lead it off here for Wichita State in game 5, and this is it. No lineup change between game 4 and 5 for either side. Sierra gets us started, left lane. Perfect start. Crunches the 1-3 pocket, all 10 back. Shockers, the great tradition. Their 45th appearance in the ITC, which is a record. They've won a record 9 titles. They've got the record with West Texas A&M with back-to-back titles in 77 and 78 on the women's side. North Carolina A&T just the 1 championship in 2015. Trying to repeat the feat here today. Melanie Caton really been great all day. Lead off. This is high. 4-7 stands.
1 game left. 10 frames. Each lady gets 2 shots to help each previous player and going forward.
What more can you ask for?
I love game 5s.
Me too.
Watch right here, though. Just miss inside her target. Clearly, she's been around 12 or 13 with a little bit more projection. But catches a light break after the 8 pins, the 10 pins, 4-7 spare.
Very challenging pattern here in Wyoming, Michigan. High score so far has been 2-11, game 3, Wichita State. That's been it. So it's been a grind out slugfest type championship match. 4-7 successful there for Melanie Caton.
Even though the scores have been coming off the left lane, okay, each team has seen the right lane twice. So now the Aggies, again, back on this right lane. They should know by now what they need to do. The lane is tighter down the lane. A little bit more hand action. Can't slow the ball down. Bigger balls. Go up to stronger, more stronger equipment. And see what happens.
Madison Hanson. Junior from Wichita. 7-pin, the late tap, and down it goes. The left lane has just dominated the right lane, Kelly, as we've seen, by 24-plus pins in this championship match.
That's an amazing statistic right there, Dave. You can see the Lady Shockers just continuing to chase it left. The ball actually tips up. We're on the right lane. It just doesn't want to make that motion or tip its way towards a 1-3. Big shot right here. Only in frame number 2.
Lauren Tomacheski. So the right lane, which has been a struggle. Not for Lauren. Wow. Tattoos the 1-3 pocket. And all 10 in the pit.
Right there, that's the move. Now, if I'm a player, if I'm a coach, I watched where Madison finished for the Lady Shockers on that right lane, how deep she was, and that's where I'm going to get my ladies to be around at that part of the arrow zone in order to get to the pocket cleanly.
Here's the exercise science major, the junior from Wichita, Addie Herzberg. Wants to be a physical therapist one day. Just one open frame so far in this championship match, the best out of 5. Wichita State wants to continue the perfect start to game 5. Herzberg, that's high, 6-10.
Good delivery. Off that move, I'm going like 3-1. Maybe 4-2. Got to get to the right side of the head pin. I feel like we're watching a ping pong match, Dave. I don't want it. You take it. No, you don't. I don't want it. You can tap it back.
Back
no.
and forth.
Back and forth through 4 games. One more to decide.
Herzberg has her 6-10 spare. Shockers stay clean in the championship. Determining game here. Pamela War, charismatic team leader. Huge moment. That's high. Could have been a lot worse. Almost the 6-7-10 split. Just 6-10 up.
Good shot off her hand. I liked it a lot. 18-19 didn't quite project it too far right. Now here's the head pin right over here going towards a 3-pin. It's really close. Again, keep chasing it left. Keep chasing it left. As tight as it is down to the right lane, you kind of want to get away from that spot. Both teams now, you hear more chatter coming from the ladies.
Absolutely. Everyone knows what's at stake here. Her teammates say she's got no fear. Big moment. Chops the 6, leaves the 10. A devastating open frame for the Aggies in the 5th and final game. Right lane, Kelly. Been tough.
It has been.
Look at the day here for Sarah Klassen. St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. Hoping to go back to her native country soon, but it's not easy with the restrictions. Left lane, that one missed a little bit. 2-pin up.
Yeah, really, that's her first shot. That really wasn't about it on the scale of 9 to 10 and 9. Everything else, though, again, leaks it just a bit right down the lane. See the ball motion. Just needs that energy to get back over here.
Testing process to get back into Canada is arduous, to say the least. Multiple tests in the States, then when she crosses the border, and then a quarantine period. Safety first, of course, but it's not easy.
Yeah, we mentioned, Dave, too, it didn't even say all the athletes prior to coming here had to be tested, you know, I think within 2 or 3 days of the teams actually getting here to Grand Rapids. So all safety precautions and measures have been taken place to ensure the safety and health of all the participants as well as the staff. And Gary Brown and his staff have done an amazing job.
COVID protocol is so important. Anna Olaja steps out. That's the strike she's been looking for throughout this championship match.
4 games in, 8 shots. Finally on the 9th shot, she steps up and makes the strike when she needs to.
Better late than never. The Intercollegiate Team Championship's on the line. We move ahead to the 6th frame. There's the scoreboard. Things are close in the 5th and deciding game. The Spectrum Entertainment Complex outside Grand Rapids. They are playing for the Helmer Cup National Championship Trophy. The medals, the championship hats will go to the winning team. And here we go, Kelly. The last half of the last game.
1 shot left for each player.
You've been here. You know what it's like.
Yeah. It's intense and it's fun at the same time.
6th frame. Top of the lineup again. Sierra Shashoka. Chance to go up by 19. 10 pin here. Keeping things close. There's a 10 pin, there's the mark for Wichita State. But the door is open now for the Aggies to take the lead. Did you know more than 85,000 kids bowl in high school, but only 4,000 of them can find college programs? Collegiate bowling is growing fast, but there's still work to be done. To learn how to start a program at your college, please visit bowl.com/collegiate. And Melanie Caton, the freshman, has been pretty awesome in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, once she got that first game under her belt, she's just been a key member of this bowling team.
Call her the kid. Try to come through.
It's a good shot.
Was again, trip 10 pin.
That was a key frame for the Lady Aggies.
And North Carolina A&T takes the lead by 1 pin.
Had a great freshman year. Going out on a high. Look at this shot. High last time. As you say, Dave, 10 straight back in the pit.
Madison Hanson steps up for Wichita State and delivers. Does she ever? Rocks the rack.
This is bowling, Dave. This is bowling.
Back and forth we go.
Post a shot. Aggressive speed off her hand. Nothing left standing.
Huge strike. Lauren Tomaszewski. Just one open so far.
Struck last time she was up.
On the right lane, yes. Aggies expand the lead.
Struck in frame number 2 last time. Again, deeper. There it is. Just finally, all the ladies finally got deeper left and moved inside, closer to the head pin. Also, over the course of the 4 games, there was some development made from the friction built in.
Here's Eddie Herzberg. 4-bagger for the Aggies. 11-pin lead. This to cut it to 1 for Herzberg and the Shockers. What a 5th and final game. Another huge shot. 9-pin, bumped late. Down it goes.
Really, really good shot. Wichita ladies just seem to catch some pretty good breaks along the way. Tripping pins, tripping 4 pins.
Pamela Ward trying for a 5-bagger for the Aggies. Ringing 10-pin, good shot.
Wow, really great move after that high 4-7 lead before, or 6-10. Really key shot. Look right here, projects the ball right at the right part of the lane. 6-pin, oh, we call it the ringing 10 for a reason. Ring around the collar.
Somehow misses the 10-pin.
Yeah.
And this game and this match are going to go right down to the wire, possibly the last shot.
Both teams, the energy level definitely picked up. All the cheering, all the commotion in the background. An exciting game number 5.
Much needed single pin spare conversion for Pamela Ward. Look at the win probability. It's right down the middle.
50-50.
And if we tie, because teams are worth half point, right, Kelly, for the win?
Yes, they are.
Have another game. Wouldn't that be something? Klassen answers the bell again, and there's the strike dance.
I think she's the all-star of this game, of this round.
Turkey for Wichita State to take a 10-pin lead. Wow. Here's Olaja.
Foundation frame to stay in it.
No bigger shot in her career. Gets the trip 4. Wow.
Wow, 10-pin lead. Slightly inside. Struck the last time she was up. Off the sidewall. Head pin runs into the 7-pin to trip the 4 from behind.
Talk about clutch. Shockers a 247 max score here. Aggies 237. 2 strikes and 1. You can see it. Madison Janik, Team USA National Player of the Year. Opportunity here. Here's the first. Got it. All important first strike, Kelly.
Yeah, Dave, like I said, that 5th frame when she pounded the pocket and crushed the pins back. That was a professional moment right there for the first one. Can she duplicate it? One more strike and 1 pin,
Wow.
and they will shut out North Carolina A&T.
Eric Lewis, Holly Harris telling us they've never been around a more powerful bowler than Madison Janik, and here she is with a chance to win the national championship and the Helmer Cup. Here it is. A strike does it. 7-pin late. Madison Janik strikes for Wichita State. 1 pin away from a national championship. What a shot. Incredible.
Watch this shot, Dave. Really great projection. Hand gets around the ball. The light shakers have fallen for them almost all night long. Trip fours, shaker strikes. Just enough kick from the head pin to kick out the 7.
Look at those happy Shockers. Wow. Just has to keep it on the lane, and the Shockers have won the national championship. She does that. Wichita State has won its record 10th ITC Women's National Championship. They knock off North Carolina A&T in 5 games. What a match here today in Wyoming, Michigan. And for the first time since 2009, they raised the Helmer Cup. Champs in 2021, but it wasn't easy. What a fight they got from North Carolina A&T today.
The Lady Shockers are your National Intercollegiate Team Championships, winning game number 5 with a score of 247 over the Lady Aggies 217, a 3-2 game victory for that championship title. Madison Janik, she is our most valuable player, our player of the year. You needed 2 strikes and 1 pin in the 10th frame, stepping up. What were the thoughts going through your head to win that title?
The only thoughts that I had was to make quality shots and just to hit my target.
2009 was the last time you won the national team championship. You weren't a part of that team, but you're a part of history now, extending that titles to 10 for the team. What does this mean going back to Wichita after such a crazy year of 2020?
I don't think I could ever explain the feeling. It's always been a dream of ours, and especially with the group of girls that we have this year, the challenges that we face this year, it's only made us stronger, and it will only make us stronger in the future.
Well, congratulations, Madison and the Lady Shockers of Wichita State University here in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Spectrum Entertainment Complex. It has been a wonderful finish, winning 3 games to 2. The Lady Shockers are taking home the national championship back to Wichita, Kansas. Come back as we wrap it up.
Congratulations to Wichita State 2021 national champs. Be sure to join CBS Sports Network next week, 8 Eastern for the men's intercollegiate